Good morning, everyone. Now, this, as I said, and as you saw in the video, this week, today is the last day of the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity. It's an interfaith or interdenominational Christian tradition that goes all the way back to the 1908. It's 8 days, January 18th to the 25th. It's interesting that it's an 8-day celebration, and there's lots of, in the Catholic tradition, 8-day celebrations, and it reminds me of Anshi'il, right? Remember, it was dedicated every 8 days, right? We would have Anshi'il. So all this leads up to what's happening around the world, but internally, we're still trying to get a good cooperation between our movement and the broader base of Christians. And one of the key instruments for that was the American Clergy Leadership Conference, which was founded in 2000. And actually, they had a lot of activities. The Middle East Peace Initiative, which started in 2003, and expanded, as you saw in the video too, to Korean Clergy Leadership Conference, the World Christian Leadership Conference, and even the Pacific Christian Leadership Conference. And the vision is to build together an alliance of Christian clergy under the guidance of our Heavenly Parent, with the ideal, focusing on the ideal of family, building the family, restoring the community, and renewing the nation and the world. So, WCLC was founded in 2019, just before COVID. And as you saw in the video, there was lots of activities that we ended up having online because of the COVID environment. And it's amazing now, though, especially I noticed it for the Pacific Christian Leadership Conference, because the countries in the Pacific, they're very spread apart, but they can all come together online. It's an amazing thing, amazing technology for this day. So for the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity, the theme this year for 2026 is from Ephesians 4:4. Just as there is one body and one spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called. But here's the whole verse from the Ephesians, the 4th chapter, the 1st through the 6th verses. I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There's one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. So the theme of unity definitely resonates, especially as unificationists, we're all about unity, right? And always I need to remind myself and remind us that unity does not mean sameness. It doesn't mean that everyone is thinking and acting and looking the same. A better understanding of unity is harmony. And the great image I have is an orchestra that's in unity. They're not all playing one note and the same instrument. No, you have this incredible diversity of sounds and notes and instruments that come together to create an amazing sound and quality. So it's that harmony between all that diversity of instruments and notes that bring together to create a masterpiece. So our goal is one world human family that is filled with diversity. And as in our unification principle we often talk about, each person, God created us as individual embodiments of truth. It's amazing. Each one of us is a unique expression of certain qualities of God, our Heavenly Parent. So the goal is, how do we get to that world of true harmony, true unity, true peace? Well, first step, just as the campaigns and rallies have gone so far, it starts with me, right? We often say, peace starts with me. Well, unity and harmony also begins with me. Starting with my own habits, my own self-discipline, self-control. Often we talk about, in the unification principle, the unity between our mind and our body, where our words and our actions become one the same. You know, a small child, when they're growing, their mind is already ready to do all kinds of amazing things. You know, I want to run across the room, I want to chase my brothers and sisters, my mom and dad, but the body is not yet responding. So, very frustrating. Why can't I reach that or do that? Well, all the way through our life, we're continually developing unity between our mind and body, self-control, self-discipline, as we master different skills. You know, when I first began playing tennis, you know, on the tennis course, because I'd watched my dad. My dad was kind of he wasn't really, in the Air Force, he was like a semi-pro, right? They tournaments. So I'd watch it, I'd see exactly how he played it, and I thought, wow, I want to do that. But of course, as soon as I got a racket in my hand, it didn't work. You know, my mind, I know how it's supposed to go, but I had to train my body and unite my mind and body. So that's in every aspect of life. It all begins with me making that foundation. Now, the interesting thing is that when I am harmonized, united with myself, even go back to the orchestra analogy, if I can play my instrument correctly, I have it going smoothly, then it can harmonize with others. But if I am out of sync, off harmony, I'm not united, you know, I want to play this note, but I played that note, it's very difficult for others to unite with me because I'm all over the page. Maybe you've had that experience in trying to work on a project and you've got one person, they're kind of scattered all over the place and you can't necessarily even depend on them. It's like, okay, in order to build this, we need to have that in place by this time. But then, they got distracted. Then the project gets delayed and frustrated. So, starting with each one of us, we developing that world of goodness, building on our own unity, then we can create harmony and expand it from the individual to, of course, the next is the people around us. Starting point is my family, then my friends, co-workers, all the people that God brings into our lives. The amazing thing is that the family is God's training ground. It's where we have the chance to practice and develop these skills. The family is also sometimes the most challenging because we're most intimate and most close. The family is where those four realms of relationship and love can be experienced. Of course, the first place of unity is between husband and wife. Right? This is key to making a foundation for the whole family, right? The unity between husband and wife, who are very different, right? I love the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, right? Very different people, but when men and women can come into unity and create harmony, this is a most beautiful thing to God, our Heavenly Parent, to see that harmonize masculine and feminine together. And then unity between parents for children. You know, you have the parent-child relationship. Unity, the parent towards the children, and children toward the parents. And then also in the family and expanding to friends and like that is the harmony and unity between brothers and sisters and among friends who are all very, very different. So it's an amazing design that God has, that all this incredible diversity and everyone is unique, and you think, oh wow, that's like chaos, right? How are they ever going to come together and unite? But this is God's design, that this diverse combination of people create an incredible orchestra, a beautiful sound for God when each one of them is harmonized. So it requires starting, again, with me, my own mind-body unity, and then expands to my harmonious relationship with the people around us. Let me read this. This is continuing in the book of Ephesians. St. Paul, he talks about the gifts and the sacrifices that Jesus made really to prepare the disciples. So let me read. The gifts that he gave were to equip his people for works of service, so that the body of Christ may be built up until we all reach unity in faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God, and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. Through relationships we grow, improve ourselves. God has invested so much in each one of us so that we can harmonizing, centered on God, together with others to create a positive difference and impact in the world. And that's the next step, from myself to my family and the people around me to the larger society and the nation. Overcoming the me versus them, us versus those others. Jesus talked often about and how important it was that we learn to love our enemy, even the people that are most difficult. We don't have to agree or have the same thoughts. In fact, God doesn't want us to have the same thoughts, but to line us in the same direction and to have the similar purpose, similar commitment, that we can work together, even if we don't see things the same way, towards a common goal, a common good. Discovering those commonalities is so important in creating a healthy society. I really enjoy the interfaith work, working with the Interfaith Council of Greater Sacramento. There's all kinds of traditions, right, and beliefs and faiths. We don't have to agree, but there's so much that we do agree on, and that diversity brings actually a richness into our approach to dealing with problems and issues and making a bigger difference in the larger community. Last night I was able to participate in the Sacramento's Martin Luther King celebration. It happened at Sacramento State. It's an annual event. And yeah, there are a lot of people I disagree with, politics or whatever, but we could come together on the common base of creating a world of true justice, true equality, and for all people. And it was a beautiful event that we could share together in. So, again, these are some of Jesus' words encouraging, praying for the sake of his disciples. Jesus says, I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, through the message the disciples will be giving, that all of them may be one. Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. So, Jesus and God are not the same, but they are one. They are harmonious in unity. So, expanding from every level. There's so many things that can divide us, but there's much more than can unite us. If we look at the good, if we focus on the healthy, we can create that environment, rich environment that God is longing to see at the world level. So, let me conclude with these quote. This is from our true parents from the Chambumo Gyong. This is the book 4. The unity of the world as a global family is essential for heavenly fortune to come. Astonishing developments in science and technology bind humanity together through a revolution of information, communication, and transportation. It's incredible, the world we live in today. Through Zoom and online, we can connect to people all around the world. Our ability to travel is phenomenal. They continue. But what can bring the power to change people's tendency toward selfishness and their attachment to a self-centered perspective of the world? What can fundamentally resolve the problem of nations competing to satisfy their own interests? Each one of us must find the answer in heaven's law, and by means of a fundamental awareness of God, who is our origin and root. God's love is the only answer. So unity, harmony, peace, it all starts with me. It starts with each one of us. And then it expands to our family, the people around us, to the community, to the nation, and to the world. So, as we're concluding this week of prayer for Christian unity, let's look at our own grounding, our own foundation, our own mind-body unity, united with God. How much are we practicing that self-control, self-discipline? And then see how we can create harmony and unity with the people that God brings into our lives. The people that cross our path, maybe the people at work, or at school, or in the neighborhood, or in the family. Recognizing and appreciating all the differences and the value of each one of us being this unique, individual, special expression of God, our Heavenly Parent. Please join me in prayer. Father, Mother God, our loving Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for your investment in each one of us, and your design of this universe is so incredible to see how each one of us is a unique expression meant to work together in harmony with all these other unique expressions of your beauty. We thank you, Heavenly Parent, for your commitment and your perseverance throughout all of history. And as we remember and pray for unity among all Christians, we also pray for unity among all of your people of faith around the world. And ultimately, that we can see that one human family centered on you and on your true love. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much. Please come to us this morning as we share with each other and fellowship, that we can continue to grow our hearts to reflect your love and to express your love to the world around us and the people around us. We thank you, Heavenly Parent, and offer this prayer together, gratefully on the foundation and the precious attendance to our Holy Mother Han, our true mother, and gratefully as your sons and daughters. Amen and adieu.